Hey everybody, welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. So, 5 years after the destruction of the Mother Crystal Drake's head, we find Clive and Jill in the Dalmekian Republic, and more specifically, running home after freeing some ungrateful bearers to their new hideaway. Looks like we've got an entire new map here. So we've got the pier, the training pit, the lift, the boarding deck, the mess, the counter, the map room. The infirmary is blocked off. We've got the bunks. Over here we've got the haven and the atrium. We've got the backyard, the rear stacks, Clive's chambers, and the wall of memories. We've got the black hammer and the forge. Karen's toll has its own place now. We've got the main deck here with the Arid Stone and the orchestrion. We've got the tub and crown. I'm guessing that's where food is served. And we've got the shelves. What I don't see at the moment is Tomes, but I'm sure we'll find him sooner or later. So anyway, let's go ahead and check out our new quest, Home Sweet Home. Amidst the fallen dreams of the people long faded, Clive and his friends strive to realize a new dream. A dream wherein people of all backgrounds, be they man, bear, or dominant, can live on terms of their own choosing, and we need to speak with Otto. So let's speak with our ferryman first, Obelisk the boatman.
Shido, Ottoのところに行ってやれ。サロンにいるはずだ。
Let's take our time here exploring around our new home.
おかえり、Shido.
Everyone's calling us Sid instead of Clive because we've taken on that mantle as part of the myth-making necessary to change the hearts and minds of the people.
腕の振りが甘いぞ。気合を入れろ。
Over here we've got the training pit. I'm assuming we can't get in here just yet, looks like. And here's Jill.
Clive, サロンに行ってオットーに報告しましょう。
Okay, Jill's telling us the same thing as everybody else, which is go talk to Otto. Let's check out a little bit more of this lower level first. I guess that's about it. We've got some carpenters doing some work over here, and we've got the lift. So let's head up to the main deck. Okay, so this appears to be kind of a... Like we saw earlier, it appears to be the fallen ruins of an airship. I have a feeling it doesn't fly right now, but sooner or later we're gonna make it fly. Lillian and Peter, a plank polisher and a sympathetic soul, commenting on our return. Let's take a look here. So we're at the boarding deck. We could go check out more of the hideaway here, but let's actually go forward straight into the mess, and let's check in with Otto here. I'm guessing he's our seneschal, our right-hand man, running the hideaway when we're away. We've got the keeper of the stores, Hortense.
あら、クライブ。今回の作戦はうまくいったの?
She calls us Clive, not Sid. So some people know us by name, some people call us by title. I would guess those who know us better call us Clive. And here we've arrived at the mess.
次の作戦まで各自待機だ。
了解です、ドリス隊長。
Doris is suspending all operations until further notice. She must be a military attaché of some sort for the organization.
あの書類の整理は終わったか？
まだなの。別の問題が起こっちゃって。
These guys are talking about reports.
そりゃまずいな。
Oh, and we've got our little Moogle friend over here. Nectar. You're wondering what this new board is behind me, aren't you? All in good time, my furless friend, all in good time. He speaks so fast. Okay. Well, let's check in with Otto.
戻ったか、クライブ。ビクトルがストラスを飛ばしてきた。状況は分かってるよ。今回も災難だったな。
巷ではシドは滞在人だ。その上、風国プカにまで目をつけられてる。誰だって関わりたくはないだろう。それで留守中に変わったことは？
ダルメキア共和国軍を調べるためにガブを向かわせた。どうにも奴らの動きが引っかかってな。今は帰りを待ってるところだ。
なら奴が戻るまで彼女と各国の情勢をさらっておくとしよう。
Okay, so it seems Tarya and Gav both escaped
ビビアンか。
the massacre at the
研究
previous
さえでき
hideaway.
れば場所は問わんと言ってたが、こんなところでもお勉強とは変わった先生だよ。
変わり者だから協力してくれるのさ。何かあれば呼んでくれ。
So is that a new individual besides Tomes? Speak with Vivian in the map room. I don't believe we've met her. So if we take a look here, we can head up to the bunks, the infirmary, the atrium, the haven. There's a lot going on up there. But we'll get to that in good time. For now, let's speak with Vivian in the map room. So here we have the map room. We've got one of these owl creatures. I forget what they're called, but they're capable of sending messages. Then we've got some maps on the wall, some books here. A history of Valisthian jurisprudence, the Continental Accord. The signing of the Continental Accord marks the beginning of the modern era of Valisthea. Where the realm had once been riven by hatred and mistrust, the Accord built bridges, affecting many of the areas of realm-wide cooperation that persist to this day. The shared currency, shared calendar, and common system of bearer ownership chief among its epic-making achievements. Alas, in the years since the Accord signing, many of these old rifts have reopened. It is for us to follow in the steps of our forebears and wholeheartedly endeavor to usher in a new age of peace and unity. Let's take a look at Active Time Lord just real quick. So we have some new information here on the three main pieces of the current situation. The Hideaway, established under the leadership of Clive Rossfield, who took on the title of Cid after his former leader's passing and Titan's destruction of the old Hideaway. Here, a community of like-minded individuals from across the realm has gathered to build a place where people can live and die on their own terms. Like its predecessor, it is built within fallen ruins, deep within the deadlands of Central Storm. Decidedly unlike its predecessor, however, it is located in the center of a lake, Benamir, across whose waters any invading enemy can easily be spotted long before their arrival. Got some new information on Clive. After Cid fell and his hideaway was reduced to rubble at the hands of Hugo Kupka, Clive took on both his predecessor's name and role, becoming the second Cid the Outlaw and leader of the re-established resistance. Together with the other survivors and their new recruits, he continues Cid's mission to emancipate bearers and rid the realm of Mother Crystals. And then we have Otto here. Chief Steward of Clive's Hideaway, Otto continues to serve the same role he did under Cid, being the primary person in charge of all monies and information coming into and going out of the Hideaway. Fair enough. Let's check in with Vivian.
ビビアン、少しいいか。
悪運が強いな。まだ生きているとは。
お前にだけは言われたくない。
何度か暗殺されかかっただけじゃないか。騒ぐほどのことでもなかろう。さて、要件は何かな？この偉大なる軍事学者、ビビアン・ナインテールズが答えよう。
各国の情勢を把握しておきたい。
今日も今日とて、バリスゼアは知事に乱れたまま。史上最悪の大罪に、シドの登場に、黒の一体の侵食による世界の荒廃。だが、世界を揺るがす風は、それだけじゃない。ザンブレク公国という嵐の存在だ。風の大陸、北東に位置するザンブレク公国は、かねてよりその国土を黒の一帯に蝕まれていた。そのため、新たな領土を求めて、海を挟んだウォールード王国と長く争いを続けている。ところが、相手は召喚獣オーディンを擁する強国。そうやすやすと領土を奪えるわけもなく、事態は進展していなかった。そこで、ザンブレクの新皇シルベストルが目をつけたのは、豊富な資源を抱えるクリスタル自治領だ。5年前のこと、君たちがマザークリスタルドレイクヘッドの破壊に動いていた裏で一挙にかの地へ侵攻制圧した。だがクリスタル自治領は文字通り世界の中心、最大の地理的要衝でもある。 ここを抑えればバリスゼア統一にも手が届くだろう。だからこそ各国は相互牽制として不可侵条約を結んでいたのだが、一方的に破られたとなれば紛糾は避けられん。ザンブレク公国、ダルメキア共和国、ウォールード王国、そして鉄王国、それぞれが生き残りをかけ乱世は加速しているよ。
なるほど。いい雲行きとは言えないか。
世界にとってはな。今後の風の吹き方一つで君たちにとっては追い風になるかもしれない。こんなところだ、クライブ。こたびの講義代はお使いで手を打とうじゃないか。
仕方ない。いいだろう。
それではこの本を書庫の主に返しておいてくれ。語り部によろしく。
Okay, so Tome survived as well as Gav and Taria and a few others. It also seems that despite our destruction of the Drake's Head Mother Crystal, the blight continues to spread. Now, what is she listed as? The state of the realm. I suppose we can get lessons from her, similar to speaking to Tomes or reading the lore entries, but from her it's more directed, sort of more focused on precisely what we need to know, whereas Tomes has more kind of spread out information. All right, so we're going to head to the shelves. Okay, so we head up to the main deck here. Here's Jill. She's moved.
隠れ家のみんなの顔を見るとほっとするわ。ここがそういう場所になって本当に良かった。
She's happy to be home, getting a warm reception. I'm not surprised. So up here, we have our spoony bard. Although no, it's a different bard. The Lucan Larkstongue. As hither yon dance autumn winds atop the rotten pier, of Sid's return the faithful sing across the blighted mere. Okay, he's composing stuff. Since we're here in the main deck, we can check out Karen's Toll, as well as the Forge real quick. I'm not interested in the Arit Stone or the Orchestrion. We might take a quick glance into the Tub and Crown here. It seems pretty small. Yeah, it's really more of a lunch counter than a whole inn or restaurant. Order a drink for 500 gil. Buy a round for the hall for 10,000 gil. This seems like a way to throw away money. Let's just chat with Maeve.
私はこの隠れ家の憩いの場、パブタブ&クラウンの店主よ。とは言ってもボリーの厨房に間借りしてるんだけど、その分美味しいお酒を楽しませてあげるわ。シドも一息つきたい時はいつでも顔を出してね。
She seems pretty cheerful for a branded.
それじゃあね。
I guess she likes being here. Let's check in with Karen.
なんだい?
Okay, we'll ask about the past 5 years. Or no, we'll ask about the Hideaway. You won't hear me complaining. It's even roomier than the old one was. Got my own stores, my own little counter. And thanks to you lot fighting the good fight, plenty of demand for my wares. The only drawback's the constant bloody racket. It's not Doris and Otto barking their orders, it's Blackthorn and Bardolph banging away day and night. Still, if the pain in the ear hole's the price I have to pay to be Sid the Outlaw's partner in crime, I'd say I've got myself a bargain. Let's ask about the past 5 years. Has it really been 5 years since we left the old place? Ah, how time flies. I remember it like it were yesterday. We were all waiting to treat Sid to a hero's welcome when Kupka's lot turned up. Not that we knew it was them, they just poured in like a plague of rats, cutting down anyone and anything that stood in their way. Blood and bodies everywhere there was, and a voice crying out for Sid to save us in the midst of it all. I'll never forget those cries, try as I might.
Clive.
You're our leader now, Clive. Promise me you won't let anything like that happen again. Promise me that come what may, Sid will save us. Okay. Painful memories there, but 5 years should have blunted some of the wounds. If we take a look at her wares here, she's still got pretty much the same stuff she had last time. There's quite a few expensive new items here for the Rama abilities, but I don't think I'm going to buy those. And, oh, looks like we can purchase elixirs for an enormous amount of gil. Affluent nobles obsessed with finding the secret to eternal life have created an unprecedented demand for this quality herbal concoction, heretofore rarely used outside of battle. As such, its asking price is bloated to so great an extent that few soldiers can actually afford it. Well, let's fill up on potions here since we're here. We've got 3 high potions and 4 potions already, so that's fine. Okay. Oh, here's Goots. He survived as well.
Clive, お帰りなさい。装備や薬で困ってないかい？こんな湖の真ん中まで品物を運び入れたんだ。せっかくだし、いろいろ買っていってよ。
Okay, so he's acting as a barker for Karen now. Let's check in with the blacksmith. Blackthorn. How do you feel about the new Hideaway? Things ain't too bad here, I suppose. Got a decent hammer, a decent anvil, and an apprentice that knows his hammer from his cock. Oh, and the furnace is alright and all, thanks to old Sid's bellows. Gods only know how I'd keep the coals hot enough out here on the mere without him. Not with bloody crystals, that's for sure. No, I reckon you won't find a forge like this one anywhere else in the Twins, and I count myself lucky to work it. Thanks for keeping me on. If you need anything, give us a shout. And let's ask about 5 years. What, you forgot already? Because I haven't. It was a right pain in the arse getting this place into shape, especially the mess we were in. Not that it was anything new for those of us who put the old Hideaway together. Still, that don't mean I intend on doing it again. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, so we can forge a new blade called Levin Bolt out of Flame Tongue, the lightning shard, and the meteorite we have. That's a nice upgrade to attack and stagger, so let's take care of that. We could craft some more of that stuff. Probably not worth it. Let's check out reinforcements available to us. Nothing much. Alright, so we've got a new blade. That's something. We've got the rear stacks back here, leading up to another part of the Hideaway. And what's this here? Off limits. That means you. What is this? Oh, this is the back door to Charon's Toll, so that's where all her stock is. I wonder if we get to sneak in there later in the game. Okay, let's head up and talk to Tomes. Wow, quite a nice library. Kind of an upgrade from what we had before.
この隠れ家は飛空艇だったんだよ。今は飛ばないけど、インビンシブルって名前なんだよ。意味は知らないけど。
Okay, Tet and Crow are talking about what Tomes told them about the airship here, the Invincible. Let's check in with our old friend.
ハルポクラテス。
そう呼んでくれるのはお主くらいだな。語り部と呼ばれすぎて自分の名を忘れそうになる。クライブ、無事に戻って何よりだ。
ビビアンから本を預かった。これをあんたに返してくれと。
On Gods and Men, a heavy leather-bound tome containing the findings of one Anaximander of Canver, renowned theologian who spent most of his life chronicling Valisthea's diverse religious history.
若先生は相変わらず読むのが早いのう。わしももっと解読が早ければお主の頼みに応えられるかもしれんが、先日手に入れてもらった書物にもそれらしい記録はなかった。お主が5年前にドレイクヘッドで出会ったという謎の存在、その正体にたどり着くにはまだまだ時間がかかりそうだ。
これだけの書物とあんたの学識をもってしても、未だ尻尾さえつかめないとは。
一筋縄で行く相手ではないということだろう。今は北部の古文書を探っている。何か分かったら知らせよう。
助かるよ。
書物に囲まれ、木の実を食い、知識の海に浸る。ここはわしの楽園だ。気にすることはない。
テトは見てた。語り部、木の実ばっか食べてる。クロも知ってるよ。だからおなら臭いって。
これこれ、割らせてない。好物が取り上げられたらどうしてくれる？
テトとクロは相変わらずか？
ああ、書庫で預かってからというもの、毎日元気にしておるよ。ただ時折、親が恋しいとぐずるのだ。あの子らが哀れでならん。前の隠れ家が襲われた時、二人の親を含め、多くの仲間が殺された。5年前の出来事は、生き残った者たちに深い傷となって残ったな。
その傷を癒すにもまだまだ時間が必要だ。
話が長くなった。疲れたろ。少しは休むといい。
ありがとう、ハルポクラテス。
Okay, so Clive has Harpocrates here
部屋で休むとするか。
researching Ultima. And let's take this opportunity to check in on a little bit of lore.
よう、クライブ。
Let's see. We could also delve in a little bit more. Let's see what he thinks about the Hideaway. Look around you. Well, it's a far cry from the Imperial Library in Oriflame. In 5 short years, we've amassed more volumes than most men or women might hope to see in their lifetime. No longer are the tales they contain hidden away from all but the privileged. We have liberated them, that they may fill the minds of all who hunger for knowledge. Still, there is much more out there, and as long as I draw breath, I shall continue to gather what I can. Why, one day, a chronicle of your own adventures might even grace these shelves. Or failing that, the floor.
あれから5年。
It has been difficult, certainly. When Titan visited his wrath upon us that dreadful night, we lost much. He robbed us not only of our home and our loved ones, but of that which Sid fought fiercest to preserve, our hope.
そんな時だ。
Hope that we might never have found again had you not taken his name and become our light in the darkness. Had you not led us here to Benamir and the Invincible, where, among the ghosts of the fallen, our journey can continue. Here, in the belly of a Leviathan, untouched by the passing of 1,000 years, does our hope burn brighter than ever. And here may it burn for 1,000 more. Last got Tet and Crow.
双子かね。
I still remember the day I first met Tet and Crow, chasing their father about the Hideaway one moment, clinging to their mother's kirtle the next. The twins' love for their parents was something to behold, so fierce and pure. When they passed, I feared the void they left in the children's lives could never be filled. Neither spoke nor smiled for years, hiding themselves away here in the shelves to bury their sorrows in the leaves of these tomes. And thank goodness they did, for I believe the stories proved a welcome distraction, as over time their pain faded, and now they laugh and frolic as they once did, if not with more vigor. They remind us that no matter how deep our wounds, we all have the capacity to
そうだ
heal,
な。
and that happiness lost may be found again. Okay, so we're not going to spend too much time here. This is already a pretty slow episode exploring everything. We'll take a little bit of a look, though. We've been upgraded to Extant Encyclopedia.
なかったの。
Okay, so there's some new entries. We'll check those out. The Continental Accord. An international pact made at the dawn of the present era in which such matters as the treatment of bearers and the establishment of a realm-wide currency were laid out. It formed the basis of much of Valesthean society as it stands today, including the branding of bearers and their status as non-persons. It also put in place a universal calendar, marking a symbolic fresh start for mankind, albeit one which put magic users at a crippling disadvantage. And then we also have the founder. Fear and uncertainty reigned in those early years following the sins of Zemeckis. Not wanting to further incur the wrath of the heavens, the few who survived the fall took to wandering the land, spurning magic and staying to the shadows. And so they lived for decades. One man, however, grew tired of this life, if it could be called that, and after bidding his companions farewell, climbed a grassy knoll overlooking a forest of beech and alder. Here he gathered a pile of rubble and used it to build a humble shelter in which he spent the night. The next morning, however, instead of abandoning his work, as was his people's wont, he gathered more rocks, adding to the structure until the shelter had become a shack. This he continued for days and weeks until the shack had become a home. At first, those few wanderers who passed the knoll would shun him, cursing the man under their breaths for his hubris. But as his estate grew and one building became 2, and 2 3, the people began to slow their steps, and it was not long before some took to joining him on that knoll, gathering stones, building new lives, new destinies. This they did without magics or machines, without boon or blessing. They relied on naught but their hands, their backs, their wills, and each other. And slowly, house gave way to village, village to town, and town to nation. The man would one day die, as all men do, but those who remained continued his legacy, expanded upon it. And though his name was eventually forgotten, his spirit lives on to this day in the hearts of all Rosarians. From Legend of the Founder by Moss the Chronicler. So that story tells the beginning of the Rosarian nation. Very interesting.
何について知りたいのかな?
So, we're still working on Lay of the Land. A lot of things will have been updated here since the 5 years that have passed, so let's just dig in and see what we can find out. So, after the fall of Drake's Head, Valisthea is a realm comprising the twin continents of Storm and Ash, over which the Mother Crystals stand timeless vigil. Timeless, that is, until Cid and his disciple commence their campaign to bring each one, starting with Drake's Head, crashing down, spreading chaos and confusion throughout the great cities and nations of Valisthea. Cid's Hideaway, following the destruction of the Dominion, a hidden refuge built on fallen ruins in the blighted lands of Central Storm. Here, Cid and his adopted family of freed bearers from across the Twins made their home. That is, until the fledgling utopia was brought crashing down after its location was discovered by Hugo Kupka, dominant of Titan in the year 873. In but a single night, the Hideaway was destroyed, fewer than half managing to escape the slaughter visited upon them by Kupka and his men. We also have Benamir, the lake where our new hideaway is located. A lake in the blighted lands on the southern edge of the former Grand Duchy of Rosaria, named for the dragon that some tales say created the basin when it fell from the sky. Fallen airships dot its expansive waters like forgotten cenotaphs, leading some to liken it to a graveyard. Its remote location, far from any trade route and deep inside the Deadlands, made it an obvious choice for Clive when faced with rebuilding Cid's legacy. We also have information on the fall of the Hideaway, an assault by Hugo Kupka, dominant of Titan, and his private guard on the first hideaway of Cid the Outlaw in the year 873. The safe haven, established among forgotten ruins long consumed by the Blight, was entirely destroyed, and many of Cid's collaborators and the bearers they had freed from servitude were slain. We also have the Apothecary, which we visited, a place of worship located in the depths of Phoenix Gate, an ancient stronghold on the northwestern border of the former Duchy of Rosaria. A large mural dominates this sacred chamber, where the rite of ancestral communion, a ceremony carried out by the duchy's dominant prior to marching into battle, was once performed. Let's see what else we've got that's got a new dot on it. We've read all this. All of these have some dots. We could read a little bit about the Empire here. The Council of Elders and the 5 Cardinals. Advisors to the Holy Emperor of Sanbreque and the highest body of government in the Empire. The council consists of 5 cardinals of the Gregorian Church, who are intended to rule in the emperor's stead. The emperor, meanwhile, is expected to serve as a constitutional monarch, but there's little to prevent one who wishes to impose their will upon the council from playing a more autocratic role. The 5 cardinals are the senior statesmen that make up the highest office of government in Sanbreque after the emperor himself, the Council of Elders. The council is comprised of the High Cardinal, representative of Central Sanbreque and the Holy Capital Oriflamme, and the 4 cardinals who administer the outer provinces, the northern, southern, eastern, and western seas. We could take a look at Oriflamme itself here, or Oriflamme, capital no longer. Former capital. All right, so this is a change. Former capital of the Holy Empire of Sanbreque, after its mother crystal was destroyed in an attack by Cid the Outlaw in the year 873. The decision was made to move the throne and her army south to the Crystalline Dominion, regardless of whether or not the Dominion citizens approved. Oriflamme has since fallen gradually into decline, having lost the Mother's blessing and all the benefits it brought. In Whiteworm Castle, the towering citadel from which the Holy Emperor of Sanbreque rules over the entirety of his domain. With the Mother Crystal rising above it and the imperial capital of Oriflamme spread out below, this ivory edifice is truly a wonder. I wonder, so does the Emperor still live there now? Not sure. Let's read about Drake's Head and the fall of Drake's Head. The mother crystal upon whose wings did Sanbreque ascend to geopolitical supremacy, it towered over the holy capital of Oriflame, its mighty silhouette a testament to the power and permanence of the empire. And then, in the year 873, it fell at the hands of Cid the Outlaw. In the year 873, Cid the Outlaw, along with certain of his allies, infiltrated the Sanbreque capital of Oriflame, bringing down its mother crystal in a daring and unprecedented attack. Investigations after the fact concluded that the infiltrators took advantage of the disturbance caused by an ether flood to gain entry to the Empire's holy sanctum. In the aftermath of the incident, Cid was declared a wanted man, and the faction he led a criminal enterprise to be hounded across Valisthea. And we'll take one quick look here at the Empire itself. After the fall of Drake's Head, a nation occupying the northeastern reaches of the continent of Storm, after suffering the ignominy of losing Drake's Head to an audacious assault by the outlaw Cid in 873, the Empire set its sights on the mother crystal of its nearest neighbor, the Crystalline Dominion. Sanbreque's legions duly stormed the historically neutral territory and installed the imperial capital at Twinside. This brazen act of conquest sent shockwaves across Valisthea and heightened the already considerable tension between the Empire and the Dhalmekian Republic. Okay, so we've got a little bit of an insight into what happened with the Empire after the attack. They moved south, and still, we've got tons of lore left to read. We've got the Vice Regency here, a whole bunch more stuff over here, Dhalmekian Republic. Yeah, there's the Kingdom of Wallawed, the Iron Kingdom. I would like to know about the Crystalline Dominion that was invaded by the Empire here. I'm not quite sure I follow exactly who they are. They were a neutral party. Let's see what this says. A once independent state straddling the continents of Storm and Ash, its capital Twinsite, is built on the tiny Isle of Ark, from which its mother crystal, Drake's Tail, rises. After Drake's Head was destroyed in 873, the Holy Empire of Sanbreque declared Twinsite its new capital in defiance of the long-standing non-aggression treaty. While controversial, the move, carried out by Prince Dion and his Knights Dragoon, proceeded mostly unopposed, largely due to the Dominion's lack of a dominant of its own with which to intimidate the interlopers. And previously... Went through a recent convening of the Council of the Nation. Yeah. So it was sort of like the Switzerland, and now it's been invaded by the Empire. There was a non-aggression treaty, a pact in which was codified the agreement between nations to refrain from invading the Crystalline Dominion and laying claim to its mother crystal, Drake's Tail. It both cemented the Dominion's position at the center of world politics and placed checks on the ability of key players to exploit that position. Okay. Well, there's a lot more lore to read here, but we're going to spread this out over several episodes. Probably the rest, it's going to probably take us the rest of the playthrough to get through all of it. We've got a good handle on the lay of the land, both from, what was her name? Over here? The Lesson Giver? Not the Wall of Memories. Where's the lady who gave us the lesson? She was down in the map room, right? I forgot her name. Vivienne, was it? Vivienne, something like that. She gave us the basics of what happened, and we got a little bit more from the shelves here. So, let's get back to our quest here. We need to return to our chambers and rest for the night. I did see there were a couple of things we could inspect here in the stacks. Simeon's Treasury of Knowledge, Volume ye 11th, ye Treasury of Beasts. Ye seas which gird about ye land of Valisthea on all sides doth churn most frothily with diverse and deadly creatures. Among these are beasts more prodigious in size than entire islands, yet customarily as placid as ye very doldrums. Yet lo, when they do awaken, towering waves are driven forth, like in proportion to great mountains. Ye peoples of ye outer seas in which these creatures dwell doth live in great terror of ye writhen isles, as certain chroniclers make record of, their being known. Okay, that's an old book. Let's see, and there was one more thing two more things we could investigate here. Examine Spines, The Sins of Zemeckis, An Illustrated History of the Twins, Tales of the Founder, and Mort d'Oliver. Okay, and over here, we have Mithril, a mineral most mighty. Mithril is a material of both passing hardness and luster, and it is these two qualities for which it is valued by the weapon and armor smiths of the realm. However, there's a third quality of mithril that sets it apart from steel or shell, its durance. While even the finest steel may be melted by dragon's fire, become brittle in frigid climes, or turn to rust if not regularly and rightly oiled, mithril is, once made, eternally unchanging. In this volume, I will explain how one might go about making, shaping, and employing mithril in one's work. Lots of lore, lots of information here in the tomes. We'll be back in later episodes to find out more.
おかえりクライブ。帰ってくるなりバタバタしてるわね。その顔も見慣れたわ。今じゃただの不愛想な傭兵って感じ。
刻印がないというだけで外では人として扱われる。お前の施術のおかげで随分活動の幅が広がった。感謝してるよ。
そりゃどうも。オットーから伝言よ。ガブから手紙が来たらしいわ。あんたの部屋に置いてあるからって。
ガブから？わかった、すぐに確認する。
じゃあまた後で。
So I didn't notice, but yeah, we can see the brand has been removed from his face. And it's gone from Tarya's as well. So there is a technique to remove those tattoos. It leaves a scar behind, but still. Nice to have that gone. Oh, Jill's here in our quarters. Is she sharing them with us? Do they have a romantic relationship now?
さっきオットーが来たわ。ガブの手紙を読んでくれってあなたに。
Okay. So we'll check out the letter in 1 second. I do want to find out what the Wall of Memories is about. Ah, okay, so we can collect kind of trophies here. Okay, so we only have one, the Oath. Ah, that's the crystal with the 2 daggers stuck into it that Gav retrieved on the night of the attack. The Oath. Created the day Clive pledged his allegiance to Sid, this crystal shard, transfixed with twin daggers, is a powerful reminder of a promise made, a friendship forged, and a legacy inherited. Okay, well that will fill up as time goes by. Given how many room, slots there are, we've got a lot of games still to play, but that doesn't surprise me at all. Let's check out this letter from Gav. The reading table. Reports, letters, and other important missives addressed to Clive are delivered to the reading table in his chamber. New messages are always arriving, so make it a point to check the reading desk upon returning to the Hideaway. Okay, good to know. And we've got this letter from Gav is entitled The Republic's Play. The Republican army marches on the Empire at Twinside, and the men of the Rock have been summoned to the front. Something big is brewing, I reckon. I'll see you're done to wear upon my return. From Gav. Okay. Yeah, we can see he lost that eye in the attack. He lost his right eye, but he still got his left, and he's still working as a scout. I'm not sure what the men of the Rock are, but the Dalmekian army has, or the Dalmekian Republic seems to be governed by Kupka at the moment, who's Titan. So the men of the Rock may be his custom guard or his personal kind of elite squad.
ガブはなんて？
ダルメキアが軍を動かした。フーゴ・クプカも関わっているようだ。これで奴の紙幣はしばらくの間、ベアラーを襲うことはない。
そう、よかった。
この戦は俺たちにも好機だ。後でガブと話そう。
それにしても隠れ家の再建からここまで本当によくやってこれたと思う。
5年遅すぎたくらいだよ。俺がイフリートの力を使いこなせていればもっとうまくやれてたはず。なのにいつも何かがあの力をせき止めているんだ。
召喚獣になると大きな負担がかかるもの。あなたの体の方が分かっているのよ。良くないことから守っているんだわ。
君にばかり負担をかけてるな。
これまでたくさんの場所を巡ってきて、私にもようやく分かったの。マザークリスタルは人を幸福にしない。恩恵が大きければ大きいほど、それ以上の争いや差別、痛みや苦しみを生み続けてる。それも黒の一帯を大地に広げて
人から生きる場所を奪いながら。でもあなたは本気でそれを変えようとしてる。だから私も手伝いたいの。
ジル、だが
それにね、これはあの時ジョシュアが救ってくれた命だから、どうせなら意義のある生き方をしたいじゃない。
ジョシュアは確かにいた。見間違いなんかじゃない。ジョシュアがアルテマと呼んだあの存在。きっとジョシュアは奴を追っているんだろう。今この時も。
また会える日が来るかしら。
それを信じてできることをやるだけだ。
Yeah, imprisoning Ultima must have taken a toll, because otherwise, in 5 years, with everything he knows, Joshua should have found Clive. Unless there's some reason he has to stay away. I feel like he would have made it here and
全てのマザークリスタルを破壊する。
briefed him on how to proceed.
シドに。
北部は黒に染まったか。
この数年で黒の一帯は広がりを。しかしひどいものですね。エーテルが枯れ果てたとはいえ。
いずれ大陸全土が染まるだろう。アルテマの痕跡を追う先々で世界が死んでいく。ねえ兄さん、僕らに何ができる？
Interesting. Why would he let 5 years pass without reuniting? What is he doing that's so
問題
important?
が。ああ、すまない。邪魔するつもりはなかったんだが。
気にしないで、打ち合わせをしていただけよ。
どうしたオット？
協力者のマーサが消息を絶った。すまんが、ちょっとサロンまで来てくれ。
わかった。
The Gathering Storm.
マーサに何があった？
Let's check out the Gathering Storm here. With all eyes focused on the Crystalline Dominion, the fringes have begun to slowly fall into disarray as rumors of unspeakable atrocities abound. To make matters worse, trusted ally and friend to man and bear alike, Martha, has gone missing from her inn. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to take a break here. That episode is our introduction to the new Hideaway, our review of some of the important lore regarding the lay of the land, and our preparation for the missions to come. Until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying this series, and let me know what you think. Is this sort of episode where I kind of dive deep into the lore of the game, where I explore the kind of all the written text documents and messages and really get a feel for things? Is this something you enjoy, or do you skip over these and get to the next sort of icon battle where I'm fighting some giant monster? I'm curious to know what you think. Anyway, either way, once again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.